James Cameron's epic 2009 blockbuster Avatar is critically acclaimed to be the highest-grossing movie of all time. But how is it that a movie that received so many negative reviews in terms of narrative and storyline managed to achieve such a prestigious title? The answer? Avatar represents a contemporary cinema of attraction. To quote Tom Gunning, the man who coined the phrase, it is a cinema that displays its visibility, willing to rupture a self-enclosed fictional world for a chance to solicit the attention of the spectator. And that's exactly what Avatar did. The 2-hour 40-minute CGI extravaganza devoured its audience and threw them into the enchanting fantasy world of Pandora, a visual experience no one had been through before at the time. Not to mention the fact that this movie set the standard for all future 3D movies to come. Sure, the plot followed a linear and thoroughly predictable pattern, but I think it was always meant to. Avatar made it such that the audience wouldn't be able to care less about the story because they would be too engrossed by what they were seeing on screen. And such is the allure of the cinema of attraction. The movie also proved to be groundbreaking in terms of the technology used in cinema, utilizing techniques that would have been impossible a decade before its release, which is actually why Cameron decided to wait 8 years after writing the script until the tech caught up. They used leading-edge motion tracking systems to bring the avatars in the movie to life, and seeing behind-the-scenes footage of the movie makes it that much more awe-inspiring. If someone saw this footage first, they would never be able to imagine at the time that the end result would come out so aesthetically pleasing. The set, the props, and all the way down to the facial movements of the actors were reflected in the final render of the film. But now, let's come to why Avatar has been frowned upon over the years, despite its excellence on the aesthetic front. This is also where the idea of cinema of attractions begins to crumble. Firstly, the script seems to follow the notoriously typical white savior story, in that the protagonist, Jake Sully, comes to a foreign world and rescues its people from their plight. These people, known as the Na'vi, are made to stereotypically parallel indigenous African American tribes, which makes for a distasteful narrative and caused a large part of the movie's reputation to go up in flames. As with anything, no matter how grandeur, there is a point where the excitement starts to diminish. When the initial shock of Avatar's visual impact wore off, there needed to be a solid storyline to keep the audience hooked, and that is exactly what was lacking. So while earlier forms of cinema of attractions could easily captivate its viewers, relying on that alone is becoming increasingly limited. All that being said, there is no appreciation being taken away from the stunning graphics, epic landscapes, and mystical vibrance depicted and felt through the movie. Whether or not the alleged sequels follow a similar trajectory remains to be seen, but Avatar, on its own, made history, and the ripples it caused through the industry can still be felt in cinema today.